Yo, what's happening everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to another review. It has been a while since we've done a review. The summer is here. We got to get more reviews out. So I'm going to be going back to my audio reviews. I usually save them for the winter because, you know, daddy's got to make some money now. But the summer is here, let's enjoy ourselves. This is going to be a two-parter review. Today we are taking a look at the original Nothing Ear 1, and then the following video will be the second part where we take a look at the brand new Nothing Ear 2, the follow-up to the first gen, and we'll compare and contrast in this two-part review series. Now, real quickly before we start this video, I have to give a huge, massive shout out to Digital Slang. This particular, or I would say particular, why would I separate that? This particular review is made possible by Digital Slang. Digital Slang was kind enough to send over the Nothing Ear 1, and not only has they sent them over, he has also allowed me to keep them for my own use. So I've spent extensive timing with these headphones, and I really want to take this moment to thank. I want to truly thank from the bottom of my heart Digital Slang for being a part of this review and being kind enough to send them over. Now that I've got that out of the way, let's talk about these headphones. Nothing Ear 1 were originally set out to start this ecosystem of nothing, and essentially it did just that. Now, taking a look at these earbuds, they come with a transparent case. It is made of a nice thick plastic material. It has a USB Type-C input and a pairing button on the side. Inside of the case, it does say ear case with the signature default ear. Also, when you open the case itself, there is an LED emitter at the bottom of the base where it'll show the charging status, and when you snap them, they are very satisfying. Taking them out, you can see that the Nothing Ears have a very similar design to an already existing earbud, which we will remain nameless for this review. But there is something about this design done by Nothing that I actually find my favorite. Now, of course, there have been other earbuds that have implemented this design, and it is nothing special, but I will tell you guys from the start, these ears design are absolutely awesome. And that is also in part due to what I also would consider the build quality and the design. The build quality on these are premium. These are not like your standard earbuds from, let's say, a company like, you know, third-party companies, to be exact. Don't want to go too much in here, but the design profile is excellent. It has the signature transparent design, which is now something that's become a staple and has also been implemented by others. We also see that they have a nice size emitter, so it's not too big, it doesn't step out. These do have touch control, they don't use gestures, but they do have a few things which we'll discuss. And then lastly, they also have a technically proprietary design in terms of these ear gels, but when you put them in your ear, not only do they feel very good, but they also fit in nicely. I could move my head, I could do everything, and they sound incredible. So overall, when it comes to the design and when it comes to the fit, these are actually very good. No complaints here whatsoever. Alrighty, now let's get to the specs of these headphones. When it comes to the specs, these do have a somewhat up-to-date spec list since they didn't come out very late. These have Bluetooth 5.2, it is IPX4 rated, so it is sweat and water resistant. On top of that, it does feature AAC Bluetooth codec and SBC. There is no LDAC or aptX support, but that was to kind of be expected because these were just starting out, so we can kind of understand that to an extent. On top of that, the battery life on these are rated at 5.7 to 6 hours of battery time. With a charging case, you can get 28 hours. They do feature fast charging and wireless charging, although I haven't really used it because where is the keypad? But anyway, lastly thing to talk about is, of course, the noise canceling and transparency. Now, when it comes to the noise canceling and transparency, this falls under this category of what I would consider very good or under par. And in this case, the Nothing Ears do actually have very solid noise cancellation. They're not on the level of AirPod Pros or even a few Soundcore headphones that I've tested, but I would say they are above average and even are very respectable. They are able to block out a nice amount of noise around you. It does let in a few high frequency ranges here and there, like high pitched sounds. So for example, when I was in the gym and the weights are clashing, it does kind of seep in a little bit. So it does let in a little bit, but it does block out a general amount of sound. The transparency is also very good, but it's not as open as I thought it would be. It is, I would say, open enough. It's open enough to where I could hear somebody from across the room or even right next to me. But if it's somebody further away, like not even across the room, let's say other side of the house, I'm probably not gonna hear them in comparison to the Soundcore Liberty 4 and also to the AirPod Pros. Now, one thing to say about the noise canceling is that you do actually have the option to control with the app, and we'll get to the app support in just a moment. But lastly, the thing to also talk about is the controls. Now, being that the controls these are first generation, they don't feature like pressure gestures or anything like that. They do feature your standard double tap and triple tap, but they also do feature the volume control built right into the earbuds. Now, of course, we know a certain earbud that went ahead and took that feature to put it in their models, so we gotta give Nothing a shout out for being first to that one, at least from what I recall. But essentially the controls are as follows. The double tap is play and pause. Triple tap can be programmed to either skip or reverse. Tap and hold is to cycle through the noise canceling, transparency, and off. And then of course, if you want to customize, you can customize them all in the app. The only thing it doesn't have is a single tap, which is something that I wish that would have been a standard feature, but we'll see if the Nothing Ear 2 kind of builds on that. But overall, when it comes to the specs and also the features, they are rich and full, and they are pretty sound. Now comes my favorite part, the audio quality. Now, with all of my headphone reviews, with very few exceptions, I always like to give you guys a sound sample. Now, these ones were a little tough to get. I don't know if it's my equipment or maybe it was just the type of music I was playing, but I managed to get an audio sample for you guys. And also at the end of it, I will also put in the microphone sample just so you guys can also hear the mic quality. So here you go. This is a microphone check of the Nothing Ear 1. This is what they sound in a normal environment with little to no noises, unless of course you have your girlfriend on FaceTime in the background. Let me hear your thoughts down below if you like the microphone quality of the Nothing Ear 1. Oh, that's pretty. All right, there's a microphone quality. Now, one thing off the bat I want to say is that I really enjoy the sound profile. Out of the box, it has a very balanced sound. All three frequencies work very well together, and they give you a very nice overall well-rounded sound profile. They're almost in the same caliber as the AirPod Pros, and they sound way better, in my opinion, than the Soundcore Liberty Air 2 Pros, which I've also been rocking. But there is something that I want to talk about. I think the biggest issue that I have with the sound quality is that it could be a little bit more cleaner. That's not to say it isn't. It just is that it's all together, but it doesn't feel well blended. Sure, you can make out your low ends, your mids, your trebles, and high ranges, and they all do have a nice category. But when you're listening to music with multiple different instruments, with multiple different basses, in multiple different areas, they all don't have that separation and details that are added in. They all just feel like it's in there, but it doesn't have that separation. So while it is solid and it does have a nice everyday sound, it does need to be cleaned up a little bit. And I did notice that it was still present even with the general EQs that were given in the app. Last thing to talk about is the app support. Now, the app support is very, very good. It isn't a watered down app. It isn't something that's just going to be there. You use it once in a while. No, this thing was intended to be that gateway to what Nothing is doing now. And that's customization and allowing ease of access. This is very similar to the Soundcore app as well, but I wouldn't go as far as to say it's better than the Soundcore app, because the Soundcore app has a few perks that these can still improve on. But in the app, you can control the left and the right earbud. You can also control the controls, tapping, all the gestures. You can change the EQ as you want. You don't have the option for a custom EQ, but you get 4 presets allowed. I find myself just going with the balance. You also have the Find My Earbud option, which is excellent to have. I'm glad that all earbuds are now coming with that feature. You also get firmware updates. And then the last thing, of course, is that if you have an account with Nothing, they will sync across the board if you go to another device, if you use it on Android or iOS, no matter what profile you use. So overall, when it comes to the app support, excellent again. So overall, what do I think of these earbuds? Well, listen guys, the Nothing Ear 1 was the start of the Nothing company, and they actually give you a really solid pair of earbuds. I won't lie to you, when I first started going into Android, the very first product that got me to switch over from iPhone to Samsung was the Samsung Galaxy Buds. And Nothing has seemed to have replicated that formula by getting people into their audio quality products, giving them a taste of what's to come, and then when the product comes, there you go. But in just regards to headphones themselves, they are absolutely perfect. They don't have any flaws, at least when it comes to the everyday use. But with that being said though, my few negatives I would say is that I think the lack of EQs needs to be addressed. I think they should have given you more presets. I don't like the battery life when it's on noise canceling, because even though it says it's going to be around 5.5 to 6 hours, I sometimes get under the 5-hour mark, especially if I'm on full volume blasting in the gym. And even in transparency, it's the same deal. Another negative that I also have is I'm not a big fan of the material of the ear tips. For some reason, they're very slippery, even more slipperier than the AirPod Pro tips. Maybe it's just my ears developing earwax, but I just noticed that because the Liberty 4 ear tips and also some other JBL tips that I've used from JBL headphones, they don't have that slipperiness like this. I wish they were a little bit more grippier. But overall, as a package, I can't lie to you guys, the Nothing Ear 1s are actually very, very good. They do give you a lot of value, and the price range when these first dropped were $99. So for $99, $100, you are getting an AirPod Pro alternative that is actually a true AirPod Pro alternative that gives you almost in design, in features, in sound, and almost has in what I would think to be the closest you can go to going toe-to-toe with the AirPod Pros in terms of the design and the sound. Now, of course, the AirPods Pro do have the, gyroscope. They also have the 3D audio, head tracking. So we'll have to wait and see what the Nothing Ear 2 brings to the table. But as it stands, the Nothing Ear 1 are a pair of well-respectable earbuds that I absolutely recommend, especially for the price point. So if you want to pick these up, or if you want to check out the new one, wait for my second video. I will make a determination between the two. But if you enjoyed this video, guys, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, you can hit the dislike button to help circulate my videos as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all on the next episode. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care, stay safe, have a good day, and boosh!